let's talk about Six Flags logos, specifically park logos.
Six Flags parks have two main types of logos. Legacy Six Flags logos, which have the old Six Flags logo with the park name in blue text, red for Fiesta, Texas, with the other style being the Legacy Cedar Fair logos, which have just the park name in blue text with the dot on the I replaced with a flag, either red or orange. But it wasn't always like that. Back in the day, every Cedar Fair park had a unique logo, and for the most part, whenever they acquired a new park, the logo would stay the same, with Dorney Park being the only exception.
Then things changed in 2001 when Cedar Fair acquired my home park, Michigan's Adventure.
When Deer Park Funland became Michigan's Adventure in 1988, they introduced a logo featuring the name in yellow and red text and a cartoon lion that was the park's mascot. Given by that time Cedar Fair had the Peanuts license, they decided to remove the lion and replace it with Snoopy, though rather than keep the old logo with modifications, they instead changed the logo to a new one with the name in a yellow gradient.
Then in 2004, Cedar Fair acquired Geauga Lake from Six Flags, but it didn't have that name at the time.
In 2000, Geauga Lake was renamed Six Flags Ohio and then Six Flags Worlds of Adventure after they acquired the neighboring SeaWorld park. Rather than just remove the Six Flags name and call it Worlds of Adventure, Cedar Fair decided to instead bring back the Geauga Lake name and as a result, introduce a new logo.
By this point, Cedar Fair had 7 parks, all with their own unique logo, but then everything changed in 2006.
In 1992, Paramount Communications acquired the 5 North American parks of King's Entertainment Corporation. Each had their own unique logo, but during Paramount's first year in 1993, each park got a standardized logo to incorporate the Paramount name and logo, and each park got their logos changed in 2003.
So when Cedar Fair acquired the Paramount parks in 2006, one would expect them to not only remove the Paramount name, but also get new logos as well, and they did, just without the uniqueness.
Starting in 2007, Cedar Fair changed the logos on all of their parks except for Cedar Point and Knott's Berry Farm. Even the dying Geauga Lake got one, though it was seldom used, mainly being on the park map. The logos used a modified version of the Clearface font with all dots and the eyes replaced by a flag, though not all the time, specifically with the King's Dominion logo. These logos were similar to the logo Cedar Point introduced in the mid-90s, but not to exact proportions, as Cedar Point's logo was green and had a more elaborate curvature. While these logos were first implemented in 2007, they weren't on big park signage until 2008 in the Paramount parks, and the other parks would take a bit longer to file suit. In fact, Michigan's Adventure wouldn't modify the logo of the entrance sign until 2022. Given how unique of a park it is to the chain, Knott's did not modify their logo at all, though they did get a standardized logo, but it was insanely underused. I could only find it in their RiderCam videos.
The final Cedar Fair logo change was in 2017 when Cedar Point got a new logo to reflect the Cedar Fair logo introduced in 2015, but with the flag in the eye this time.
The fact that they did this to Cedar Point only, it shows how Cedar Point is of course the company's golden child.
This is the end of the Cedar Fair story. Let's talk about the legacy Six Flags parks now.
Six Flags parks had unique logos as well, but only until around 1993 when standardized logos were added under the operation of Time Warner, which also emphasized the Six Flags name over all else, while previous advertising for some parks did not. This blue logo was used until 1998, when it was replaced by this very late 90s logo, which colored the flags and replaced the blue shape with this black exclamation mark shape, and they decided to replace it just 1 year later due to the new Premier Parks ownership. A new red exclamation mark shape was used and the logo was now italicized and occasionally Bugs Bunny was there. This logo stood the test of time and aside from the positions being rearranged, wasn't changed until 2015 with the flags now being more three-dimensional, and a blue coaster was added in 2020.
Then everything changed in 2024 when the two companies became one.
The logos, however, not much. The company as a whole had a logo based on the Cedar Fair logo, but with the flag different from that on the Cedar Point logo. The Legacy Cedar Fair park saw no change, but the Legacy Six Flags parks modified the logo to have the park text in the bigger size. And this was applied to all Legacy Six Flags parks except for Frontier City, Great Escape, and La Ronde, which each have their own unique logos. Even the dying Six Flags America got a new logo.
With the Enchanted Park sale, we're all wondering what the new logos for these parks will be.
If they're once again standardized, I bet the parks will use this Collier font used by the company on their logo and websites. Probably like this concept I made.
I would like to see them have unique logos, but only if they don't have the same designer as that of Six Flags Fiesta Texas's new Werewolf Gorge coaster. I wonder how I can exhale my anger with this issue.
Looks like the robot's left itself vulnerable. Great Barrier Reef!
Take that, robots!